This is my review for M3GAN. So, you guys know I reviewed the Child's Play movie with Aubrey Plaza and Brian Tyree Henry, where Chucky was more of a AI type doll and he kind of learned his behaviors. And I really enjoyed that movie. A lot of people didn't like the new Child's Play movie from, I think it was 2019. I think it was. But a lot of people didn't like it. I enjoyed it because of the concept of inherently trying to protect something and that being way more engaging and interesting to me than somebody who's just evil with no redeeming qualities. And I know Chucky's supposed to be funny, but to me, Chucky's not funny. And it's it's not really funny. I don't really care for the characters. I tried to watch the show. I don't really like the show. I don't know. I'm not a huge Chucky fan. I'm just big on other horror people like Michael Myers. Even though I'm not too huge on the new trilogy either. But Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy. I don't know. There's not many I'm too big on. I just like characters that I care about to care. Michael Myers, I just like him because he's a human and he's straight up. But this movie, M3GAN, similar concept. Uh, I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed watching it. I feel like it's something that if you're like, oh, let me sit down and watch M3GAN, it's not gonna be like, man, M3GAN was. I mean, maybe you feel this way, but M3GAN was amazing, brand new franchise, start everything. No, but is it bad? No, not at all. It's more of a. I could take more M3GAN. I kind of don't want this to be it, and I do expect more from this, but it's not necessary. It's not like that. That's kind of how I felt about it. Um, the movie stars, get her name, Allison Williams. I didn't want to get it wrong. She's from Get Out, if you remember. It also stars Violet McGraw, and Violet McGraw she was in Haunting of Hill House. She played young Nell and some other things. And Violet plays Katie. Allison Williams plays Gemma. They're the two main characters. I'll go explain that later. Amy Donald plays M3GAN, and Jenna Davis voices M3GAN. We have Jen Van Epps in the movie. She was in Cowboy Bebop and a few other things. We also have Ronnie Chang. I hope I said that right. He plays David. He was in Young Rock, Shang-Chi, Godzilla vs. Kong. And we have Lori Dungy, who she was in Power Rangers, Lord of the Rings. She was in Cowboy Bebop as well. I think her and Tessa were both in one episode. Um, she has been in a lot of different things though. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. Wow. Okay. The movie is directed by, which surprisingly, I remember I was like, I haven't really seen anything by this director, so I don't know how the movie's gonna be. Gerard Johnstone, and I feel like he did a good job for this movie. Like it could have been bad. A lot of horror movies tend to be bad and tend to be terrible, but the movie kept me interested the whole time. Even a lot of parts that were predictable were done really well. So the movie is pretty good. I enjoyed it. The writers are James Wan and Akila Cooper. Akila Cooper's from *Malignant*. You know, James Wan is from *Conjuring*, *Insidious*, *Aquaman*, all those movies. Also, it was produced by Blumhouse, and you know James Wan's company, Jason Blum's company. They've been making horror. Usually, you know what I say about Blumhouse with my reviews. They have movies with really good premises, but they don't usually fall through. I feel like M3GAN held itself up. The story of M3GAN is Gemma's character, who is Allison. Uh, she is the aunt of Katie. Katie's parents die in a snowplow accident in the beginning. Uh, and so Katie's left to be taken care of by Gemma. Gemma is her aunt, who she spends most of her time. She doesn't have any kids and anything. She's a tech toy designer. I don't know the exact term or what her job is, but she designs toys for kids and she tries to advance them and make them as cool as they can. So they have these pets called, I think, Pet Pals or something like that. And they look like Furbies kind of, but they talk and you can feed them virtually and things like that. and they wanted her to make something simpler. Ronnie Chang's character, who is kind of like her boss, he's like, I want you to make something simpler so we can sell it for cheaper because people are just going to copy off of this and make it simpler and make more money. So she decides, let's just make something that people can't replicate. And she's already working on M3GAN, but her disconnect with Katie makes it where she's like, let's make M3GAN this toy that can take the place of a parent, basically do all the stuff that someone who is thrust into the position of not wanting to be a parent can do, which is be there for them emotionally, be friends with them, teach them manners and certain things like flushing the toilet, things like that. So she's like, let's make M3GAN so advanced and let's do this. The problem with M3GAN, not like the movie, but the problem that makes M3GAN go the way she goes is Chucky was more, when Child's Play, Chucky was more like a pet in that movie. What I like about this movie is it shows, it's a lot of themes in it. When you really sit down and think about it, it shows how innovation and the quest and hunger to be ahead can't be a pursuit that ignores certain things that come before. Like you have to learn from the past, learn from your mistakes. She set no boundaries, she set no safeguards. The only thing she did with M3GAN was Katie's the primary user, I'm the second primary user. I can turn her off when I want to. Which actually, this movie, when you think about it, it kind of, I just thought about it now, it parallels kids. You can't really be like, oh, my kid can do this, and this, and I put them out here, but then they have no rules and no safeguards to them. It's kind of like M3GAN was doing the job for Katie, and she creates M3GAN, who M3GAN is kind of like her child because that's her invention, and she doesn't set these safeguards for her, but she wants M3GAN to set these safeguards, and it's a cycle because you can't have a kid and be like, oh, my kid's so smart and this, and that, but that kid has no rules and no like morals to them. So they kind of just do what they think is smart and what they think is best and most intelligent decision, but it may not be the right decision, which is why M3GAN, as we know, tends to, okay, my job is to protect Katie from anybody, for anything, something that morally or even physically, like moral, physical, or emotional harm that could be caused to Katie that isn't justified to murder someone, but her idea is I'll eliminate them because that's what I feel is the thing to do, whether it's right or wrong. I feel it's right. It's pretty deep. Like I really think about it. The movie's deeper than I thought. The movie itself, like progression of the movie, isn't too much. There's not too much that's shocking. I say everything is enjoyable. There's not many characters. There's a decent amount of set pieces, but the movie definitely, what I appreciate about it is it builds. It builds to certain points, and it builds all the way through, and it kind of ends. It doesn't really go like that, which is good because it kind of just goes up and stays at a certain point and kind of ends, and you're like, okay. But I enjoyed M3GAN. I think you should watch it. It's definitely good to great of a movie. I wouldn't say like it's busting, like go see M3GAN now, but if that's her type of movie, it's January, nothing else really. Go see M3GAN. Go see it just cause. Maybe if you're interested in it all, you won't leave like, okay, this didn't keep my interest or this wasn't worth my time. But definitely go see M3GAN. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and supporting.